everybody, welcome to Kim's Kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you one of my favorite pies, coconut cream pie. So come and watch, you're going to love it. These are the ingredients for the pie crust. These are the ingredients for the coconut custard filling. These are the ingredients for the whipped cream topping. You can find all the details in the comments below. So to have a great pie, we need great pie dough. To make great pie dough, we need to have really icy cold butter. I put some butter in the freezer. I'm going to take it out of the freezer now and show you how to make a great pie dough. So in my bowl, I'm going to add my flour. I have measured this flour out first with a spoon and then topped it off with a knife. Go ahead and add my salt. Stir it up just a bit. I like to use a fork because it's easier to mix that way. Now I'm going to add my chopped up butter. I put this in the freezer. It stayed there for about 20 minutes. You can leave it longer if you like. Cold butter is always better when making this pie. So here I'm going to add it in. There. Okay. We want cold butter because if we have cold butter, it makes the pie crust much more flaky and not soggy. So we're going to continue with our cold water. There's about 4 tablespoons here. Depends on how much you need, but I'm going to go add one by one. So this is the first tablespoon. Give it a mix. While mixing, I'm trying to smash the butter on the sides. I'm going to add another tablespoon and keep mixing and go on like this until the flour has incorporated very well and has become a dough. And add some more cold water to moisten the dough. Again, 1 tablespoon at a time is good. It's slowly coming around. As you can see, it's getting more moist. You gotta have a lot of muscle power to do this. I use a fork because I don't want to use the heat from my hand. You want to keep the dough very, very cold. As cold as possible. Colder the dough, the better it will taste because it will be flaky. So as you can see, it's coming around slowly. Now the dough is nice and blended. We're going to take the remaining dough with our hands and we're going to form it into a ball. We're going to form this bowl into a nice disc shape. So we're going to take our dough and put it in the freezer for about 2 hours before we roll it out. So I'm going to cover it first with some plastic wrap so it doesn't dry. And here we go. This goes in the freezer. It's been 2 hours since we chilled the dough. If you like, you can chill the dough the night before, which is much easier. And then the next day when you take it out, it's ready to make. But I did this in 2 hours, so what I did here is lightly floured the surface and slowly push out the dough from the middle to the outer sides. And each time I'm pushing out, I roll in one direction and I slightly turn the dough a little bit so that it's all even shape. So I'm pushing outwards and at the same time I'm rotating the dough a little bit. And here it's getting a little bit wider. I want it to get a little bit bigger than the size of my pie plate. Now I'm just going to roll over the dough and slowly, carefully place it on top of the pie plate and kind of bring it in the inside, crimp on the sides. And what I want to make sure to do here is to have high sides, because when we bake it, it may shrink a little bit. So I'm just trying to make sure that the sides of the dough are high on the sides of the pie plate. And what you can also do is to crimp the sides and fold it underneath and pinch it and just give it a nice shape of the pie. Prick the bottom of the pie with a fork so that the pie cooks evenly. Before baking the pie, you're going to grab some parchment paper and scrumple it up a little bit. Just line the bottom of the pie. You want to grab some pie weights. Make sure that it doesn't rise in the middle. If you don't have any pie weights, you can just go and add some beans, which is fine as well. Bake it in the oven for about 15 minutes at 200 degrees centigrade or 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Now our pie dough has been baked, it's cooled down, it's time to make the filling. Get your cornstarch and add it to the 4 egg yolks, and now we're going to just mix it so that it all incorporated really well. Now to a medium pot, just add in your whole can of coconut milk and add your cream as well. You can do half cream, half water if you prefer. And give it a nice mix. Just note that we did not turn the stove on yet. At this point, we're going to go ahead and add in our sugar and keep mixing it so it's all incorporated, and finally add in your salt. Now we're going to turn the stove on to medium-low heat, and we're going to keep mixing it until it becomes a little bit thick and bubbly. Now that it's nice and bubbly, as you can see, just take about half a cup of the mixture and pour it into another container, because we're going to go ahead and do the tempering process, which is basically adding the hot liquid to the egg yolk and cornstarch mix. Make sure you continuously stir this, otherwise you're going to end up with an omelet. Now we're going to add our egg mixture back into the main pot. While we do this, make sure that you are constantly mixing to make sure it doesn't clump up. The mixture is going to become thick pretty quickly, so keep an eye on it. After that, we'll take it off the stove and go ahead and add in our butter and stir it quickly. Now we're going to add in the vanilla. That's 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And if you like, you can also add in some coconut flavoring, but if you don't have that, that is fine as well. Give that a nice mix until it's all blended. As soon as the filling is finished, we want to immediately pour it into our pre-baked pie shell. So get all out, don't waste any of the goodness. You can slowly smooth the surface of the pie and then immediately take a piece of plastic wrap and gently place it on top of the pie. It should touch the pie so that you don't have an extra film on top. Now we're done making our beautiful, delicious coconut cream pie filling. We cover it with plastic, we're going to let it cool down, and then after it cools, we're going to cover it with a really wonderfully delicious whipped cream and top it with coconut flakes. For the topping of the coconut pie, I like to put some flakes. So here, I'm just spreading some flakes on a pan, which I'm going to be baking for about 5 minutes maximum in a preheated oven of about 200 degrees. So as you can see, it came out nicely here. And now we're going to be making our whipped cream. We only have 3 ingredients in this whipped cream recipe. There's going to be heavy cream, powdered sugar, and vanilla. And now to make our frosting, we're going to add in our cream to a mixing bowl. It should be very cold cream, by the way. Add in our powdered sugar. You can adjust your powdered sugar according to your sweetness level. And add in our vanilla. Mix it on medium speed until you get a thick consistency, about a medium thickness, because we want to be able to spread it on top of the pie. And now we finally reached my favorite part, the decoration of the pie. We're going to frost it with our homemade whipped cream, and then we're going to top it with our toasted coconut flakes. We made coconut cream pie today together. I hope you enjoyed making it and eating it as much as I do. If you'd like to see more recipes like this, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and let me know what you think in the comments below. See you soon on Kim's Kitchen.